Good afternoon, everybody. And welcome to Cazadero Music Camp. We are so excited to share with you our large ensemble portion of our concert. A lot more folks than we saw in the morning portion, so welcome. For those of you that don't know who I am, I'm Carolyn Niehaus-Owen, Music Camp Director. Delighted to be here, and thank you again for sharing your students with us. It was a really great 12 days of junior high session, and the staff and we've all been kind of chatting, going, ooh, we're really going to miss this group of kids. So they've been wonderful humans, and we look forward to seeing them continue to grow. I'm going to go ahead and share a little bit about myself. In 2004, this was my first job. I was only supposed to be here for 3 weeks. 3 weeks turned into 5, turned into 7. My parents thought I was never going home, and I haven't left since, and I'm just delighted to be sharing this experience with your campers. And again, one of my most rewarding experiences is watching the campers come back year after year after year, and then when they get old enough to work, and they want to give back to an organization that meant something to them and inspire that next generation of students. So really, really special. And it's where I found out I wanted to be a music teacher. Also, want to go ahead and say a big thank you to our recording engineer. Please say thank you to Grant Parker. And as a friendly reminder, part of your tuition included a orchestra. I thought you were waving at me, hello. Included the recordings and some video footage as well. So just be looking in your inbox in the next couple weeks. It'll take him a little bit to do the fine-tuning touches on the recordings, but we look forward to sharing that with you in a couple of weeks. If you are in the orchestra and you are currently seated in the audience, please take a moment to go ahead and head backstage, get your instrument, and meet your music instructors at the lodge for some further instruction, just like we did last week. While the traffic is moving, I'll take this moment to remind you families, we've been taking care of other people's kids for the last 12 days. We've really enjoyed them, but we want to make sure that they're reunited with the correct family, parent, guardian. So at the end of the concert today, please make sure, please make sure that you take a moment to sign out with their counselor. When they sign out with their counselor, they'll get a copy of their photo from earlier on in the session, and also our counselors can't go until all of their campers have signed out. So thank you for helping us make sure that we've closed that loop and they're reunited with the correct parent or guardian. right, looks like the dust is settled for our orchestra friends. Without further ado, I am looking forward to hearing our jazz ensemble, and leading our jazz ensemble this week, no stranger to Cazadero. This man just retired from 34 years of teaching at his former stomping grounds, Homestead High School. Has quite a career and has had quite a career, and dear friend. So please welcome John Byrne from Homestead High with the jazz ensemble.
Thank you very much. So that was Orange Sherbet by Sammy Nestico, as recorded by the famous Count Basie Band. You heard Jackson Ronnie on trumpet, Jackson Bain. From our staff, Jaden McCain on piano. And how about that bass, Caleb Jensen on bass. So the next piece we're going to play for you is called G is for Gratitude. It's by Mike Kamoff, and this piece was commissioned by the California Alliance for Jazz for the 2022 California All-State Junior High Jazz Band in honor of our dear friend and colleague, Mike Gangemi. Mike Gangemi was a good friend of mine and a great jazz educator down in Southern California. He was always generous and giving and uplifting. And so this chart is not like a slow memorial, but instead captures the energy and positivity that Mike Gangemi was to kids and to all of us. So the G, his kids would just call him G. And so this tune is called G is for Gratitude. You heard more of Jackson Ranney on trumpet. Jackson. Liam Gibb on bari sax. Martin Fletcher on drums. Martin. And not only bari sax, but some great bass bone playing by Anjali Prabhakar. All right, our next tune is called Listen Here by Eddie Harris. Eddie Harris was an outstanding saxophonist. His dad was from Cuba, his mom's from New Orleans, and I think you can hear those influences in this groovy chart. Here comes Listen Here. Thank you. You heard Sachin Sharp on staff on alto saxophone. Scarlett Stafford on trumpet. Jonah Long West on trombone. And another great solo from Liam Gibb on bari sax. drumming for Martin Fletcher. All right, so this next tune is called Sagebrush by Annie Booth. Annie is a pianist and composer who lives in Denver. This piece was commissioned by the Reno Jazz Festival in homage to the Nevada state flower, the sagebrush. So here comes Sagebrush. Maroon Shaw on alto saxophone. Jake Hobbs on trombone. Jasper McAfee on alto saxophone. Ian Mullaney on trumpet. Let's welcome our staff member, Jaden McCain on piano. Before we play our last tune, I just want to first thank the staff that helped me with this band. They've been amazing running sectionals and just helping me out and just adding to the positivity. So just staff, either stand up or wave your hand. Please give them a huge round of applause. Next, I want to thank Carolyn Newhouse-Owen and Jonathan Knight for running this amazing camp. And I want to thank the parents for sending your wonderful kids to this camp. Let me finish and then, wait. Because I get it. I sent my daughter to this camp for many years, middle school, junior high, all the way up to, she was a CIT, and she's become such a great, wonderful young, make it choked up, young adult. I'm so proud of her, and I think a lot of what makes her such a great kid, great person, great young adult is because of the experiences she had here. So Carolyn, Jonathan, the parents, let's all show some gratitude to this group. All right, our last chart is by the great Cuban trumpeter Arturo Sandoval. You'll hear solos by Nathan Schmidt-Simon on trumpet, Melina Nolfi Macau, Martin Fletcher again on drums, and now Caleb, our bass player, is going to do some congas. He probably didn't know that when he started camp. So we're going to close with Funky Cha-Cha.
Thank you, John Byrne and the Cazadero Junior High Jazz Band. Thank you. We're going to do a quick set change. We'll be right back with our orchestra. If you're in concert band, just hang tight for a few moments. I'll let you know when it's time. Traffic.